Hello, and welcome to the next installment in our Assassin's Creed Explained Badly videos. In this installment, I am going to attempt to explain the modern day storyline up until Shadows. If I'm honest, I don't completely understand it all, so you'll have to bear with me, but I'm sure by the end of it, you should have a more clearer idea as to just what exactly is going on in the modern day storyline. So grab yourself a cheeky cuppa, and maybe a little biscuit. Mine's a hobnob if you're offering, and we'll begin. History is our playground. That was Abstergo's slogan, but behind every animus memory, every grand historical setting, there's a second story. A story about the present day, about a war that stretches across millennia, between those who want freedom and those who want control, between assassins and Templars, between humanity and the gods who created us. This is the modern day Assassin's Creed storyline, from Desmond Miles to Juno's manipulations to Layla Hassan's rebellion and downfall, and finally, the rise of Basim. The story begins in 2012 with a young man named Desmond Miles. He's grown up in the Assassin Brotherhood, but fled it, seeking a normal life as a bartender in New York. But the Templars, working through their corporate front Abstergo Industries, kidnap him. Abstergo forces Desmond into the Animus, a device that lets him relive the memories of his ancestors encoded in his DNA. They aren't doing this for fun. They're searching for a powerful artifact called a Piece of Eden, relics of the Isu, an ancient technology advanced race that ruled over humanity before recorded history. Through Altair, an assassin in the Crusades, Desmond learns combat skills through something called the bleeding effect. He starts to retain Altair's abilities, free running, fighting, even after leaving the Animus. And as he dives deeper, he begins to see strange symbols, warnings which were left behind by the Isu. Desmond escapes Abstergo thanks to Lucy Stillman, an undercover assassin working inside the company. She takes him to a safe house, where he meets Sean Hastings, a historian with sharp wit, and Rebecca Crane, the technical mastermind behind a modified Animus. With them, Desmond continues his training by reliving the life of Ezio Auditore, an Italian noble who becomes a master assassin during the Renaissance. Through Ezio, Desmond learns of the first civilization's plan to speak through time. The Isu figure, Minerva, delivers a warning to him directly across centuries. A solar flare is coming in 2012, one that could wipe out all life on Earth if humanity isn't prepared. But then, things spiral. In Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Desmond and the assassins recover an Apple of Eden, hidden beneath the Colosseum. But as Desmond reaches for it, he's suddenly possessed by the voice of Juno, another Isu. She forces his body to stab Lucy, killing her instantly. Lucy was the woman he trusted, the one he may have even loved, and now she was gone in an instant. It's at this point that Desmond falls into a coma, with his mind locking inside the Animus. In Revelations, we see what that means. Desmond's consciousness is trapped in the digital black room of the Animus. Basically, he's in a state of limbo. There, he meets Clay, otherwise known as Subject 16, a former test subject driven insane by the bleeding effect. Clay has uploaded his own consciousness into the Animus, and he sacrifices what's left of himself to free Desmond. Guided by both Ezio's final years and Altair's last memories, Desmond regains his sense of self, and finally embraces his destiny. It all leads to Assassin's Creed 3. Desmond, along with his father, William Miles, discover a hidden Isu temple beneath New York. As Desmond relives the life of Connor Kenway during the American Revolution, he gathers the keys to activate the temple's protected device. But when the final moment comes, Desmond learns the cost. Minerva tells him that activating the device will unleash Juno, imprisoned long ago by her fellow Isu for her lust for power. If Desmond refuses, the world ends in fire. If he accepts, Juno will walk the earth again. Desmond chooses to save humanity. He sacrifices himself, channeling his life into the device. Meanwhile, the world survives the 2012 solar flare, but Juno is free. Desmond dies a hero, but his death unleashes a new shadow over humanity. And with that, we move on to the second act of the modern-day storyline. After Desmond's death, Abstergo recovers his body. Using his DNA, they continue extracting his memories, mapping the genetic legacy of the Assassin Brotherhood. They use this technology to launch Helix, a sleek commercial animus platform marketed as entertainment. To the public, it looks like a VR video game that lets people explore history. But behind the curtain, Abstergo uses Helix players to collect genetic data and track down more pieces of Eden. In Black Flag, the player takes the role of an Abstergo Entertainment employee, exploring the life of Edward Kenway, a pirate and assassin. But while snooping through the servers, it becomes clear Juno is still alive, but not as flesh and blood. She's trapped in a digital state, desperately searching for a body to inhabit. The player accidentally aids in her attempted rebirth, but the process fails. The body she tries to occupy is corrupted, which leaves Juno stuck in a sort of digital limbo. In Rogue and Unity, Helix continues to spread. Millions of people unknowingly fuel Abstergo's data network. The assassins hack the system to recruit allies, but the Templars tighten their grip on modern society. By Syndicate, Sean and Rebecca are back in the field, working with Bishop, a mysterious hacker and assassin leader. They physically infiltrate Abstergo facilities, stealing artifacts, and at one point they're ambushed by Templars and are both nearly killed, showing how dangerous and immediate the modern-day war still is. Meanwhile, Juno lingers in the background, whispering through servers, manipulating wherever she can. But oddly, her storyline fades from the games themselves. Instead, Ubisoft resolves it in the comics. In Assassin's Creed Uprising, Juno finally succeeds in transferring into a human host. After years of planning, for a moment she's fully alive again, but her return sparks a final confrontation. Modern assassins, including Charlotte, Jelena, and even disillusioned Templars, unite to stop her. Juno is killed once and for all, ending her long manipulation of humanity. Her death closes one chapter, but by then, the games had already shifted focus to a new, modern-day protagonist. Before we continue, if you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing. It's very much appreciated and it shows me that you guys support my Assassin's Creed channel. And with that, let's meet Layla Hassan. She is brilliant, stubborn and fiercely independent. Introduced in Origins, she's a researcher at Abstergo, tasked with recovering artifacts. But Layla isn't like the others. She secretly builds her own portable animus, ignoring orders and starts operating on her own terms. This rebellious streak gets her into trouble, straining her relationship with Abstergo, but also draws the attention of the modern-day assassins. In Origins, Layla explores the tombs of Bayek and Aya, the founders of the Hidden Ones, the precursors to the Assassin Brotherhood. She becomes obsessed with their story, refusing to hand over her findings. Her arrogance frustrates even her assassin's contacts, who sees her as unreliable but also full of potential. By Odyssey, Layla is in deeper. She dives into the memories of the Mystios Cassandra, searching for more Isu artifacts. Her journey becomes a quest for the staff of Hermes Trismegistus, an Isu relic that grants immortality. And in one of the series' most shocking twists, she meets Cassandra, still alive after thousands of years. Immortal, wary, and ready to pass on her burden, Cassandra gives the staff to Layla, warning her of the corruption it carries. Layla becomes its new wielder, immortal, powerful, but slowly unstable. The staff amplifies Layla's flaws. Her arrogance grows, her independence becomes recklessness. Her relationship with the Assassin Brotherhood fractures. Sean and Rebecca want to guide her, but she pushes back, dismissing authority. Even William Miles, the mentor of the assassins, grows frustrated with her insubordination. What began as a promising alliance turns into constant tension. By the time of Valhalla, Layla is consumed by obsession. She chases down the memories of Eivor, a Viking whose life connects deeply with the Isu, particularly Odin. Layla is searching for a solution to looming global catastrophes, such as climate disasters, magnetic field collapses, and echoes of Isu prophecies. She believes the answer lies in Eivor's memories and the relics tied to them. Her search takes her to Norway, where she discovers the Yggdrasil, an Isu computer hidden beneath the earth. It's a machine that can calculate infinite timelines with infinite possibilities. The key to humanity's survival lies within it, but the staff's corruption and her own obsession drive her to the edge. In the climax, Layla enters the Yggdrasil, sacrificing her body to connect her mind to the system. Inside, she meets a familiar presence, Desmond Miles. He isn't truly gone. When he sacrificed himself in 2012, his consciousness was absorbed by the Isu's systems. Now he exists as the reader, endlessly sifting through billions of possible futures, searching for the path where humanity survives. Layla joins him. Together, they become guardians of time itself, watching, guided from within the machine. Layla's story ends not with death, but with transcendence. She becomes part of something larger than herself, an eternal observer of humanity's fate. But Layla wasn't alone inside the Yggdrasil. For over 1,000 years, another figure had been trapped in the system, Basim, a hidden one from the 9th century whose story is told through Valhalla and then later Mirage. But Basim carried a secret. He was the reincarnation of Loki, the trickster god of Norse myth. In truth, an Isu reborn in human form. Throughout Eivor's saga, Basim schemes, manipulates, and ultimately reveals his true identity. His vendetta is ancient, against Odin and Aesir who imprisoned Loki's children. And in the moment Layla enters the Yggdrasil, Basim seizes his chance. He escapes the machine. Unlike Layla though, he doesn't lose his body. He emerges in the modern day, alive, whole, and fully aware of who he is. Now in the present, Basim allies himself with the modern assassins. He gains William Miles' trust. He positions himself as a mentor, a guide, even as a savior. But Basim isn't motivated by freedom or justice or the creed. His motives are older, darker, and are tied to Loki's fury, his children, and his lust for power. Most dangerously, Basim acquires Desmond's genetic data from Abstergo. With it, he can access the memories of Altair, Ezio, Connor, Edward, all of Desmond's lineage, the greatest assassins who ever lived, now at Basim's fingertips. Which brings us to today. Desmond is gone, yet lives on as the reader. Layla has joined him, existing in the Isu machine as an eternal consciousness. Juno is dead, her long manipulation finally ended. And in the real world, Basim, Loki reborn, walks free, smiling, patient, pulling strings and weaving his plans. The assassins think they've gained a powerful new ally, but in truth, they've let an Isu trickster into their ranks. The question is no longer freedom versus control, no longer assassins versus Templars. It's something older, more dangerous. Who truly gets to decide the future of humanity? The assassins? The Templars? Or an Isu god who's already cheated death? The modern day storyline was last picked up in Assassin's Creed Mirage, with no mention of Basim occurring during the recently released Shadows. Well, I should say at the time of this recording he hasn't been, but we are expecting some DLC very shortly where he may be mentioned. If not, I'm guessing that the modern day storyline will next pick up in the upcoming Codename Hexe, which is expected to be released in late 2026 or 2027. If you've liked this video, please subscribe, hit that like button, and let me know in the comments below where you think the modern day storyline is going. What do you think Basim will do next? As ever, thanks for watching, and stay safe, guys.